How is it going, you lovely lot? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Today is episode number 103. Today it's the second part of the transfer special. We've got almost £150 million to spend, and I definitely want to spend it. Now, since last episode, I have added our new stadium picture to the game. Of course, we now play at the Rugby Town Stadium, or at least that is what it's going to be called to start the season. At the time I'm recording this video, this hasn't been sorted yet. As you watch this, it should be sorted. Over on my channel community page, there is a poll set up where you can vote on the name we will be giving this stadium. So if you want to help name the stadium, we will be taking suggestions from yesterday's comment section, putting them to a vote, and the winner will be what the Rugby Town Stadium gets called. Because let's be honest, this is just not a very inspiring stadium name. Now, like I already mentioned, we've got a whole lot of money to spend. £200 million in the bank. We've never had so much money. Some of you were frustrated I didn't spend it last time. I promise we're going to spend some of it today. Let's do this. And I know, before I go out and spend money, we need to sell more players. I've come back today on the 14th of July. The start of the season is 3 weeks away. Well, you do have the Community Shield against Arsenal. And we've had offers for Lucas Schumacher. Now, we have an offer from Southampton and an offer from Real Madrid. Southampton are actually offering more than anyone else. Although, as you can see here, Schumacher has no interest in joining them. He's valued at £9 million, or at least that's what they've bid. He's valued at 14 to 15. I'm going to be cheeky here. This might be stupid. I'm just wondering how much I can push Southampton here. How much can I bully Southampton into giving me? Southampton, will you give me 18 million? Okay, so Southampton will give me 18 million. I have a sneaking suspicion Monaco and Rangers aren't going to offer that amount. I mean, we can try, I suppose, can't we? Yeah, Rangers don't think 18 million is possible, and Monaco also not a fan of 18 million. I'm hoping that because Real Madrid have offered a bit more than those previous two clubs, although not as much as Southampton, maybe they'll go for 18 million. If I could get 18 million for Schumacher, that would be the dream. Apparently his preferred destination is Real Madrid. They rejected 18 million. I'm going to push my luck here. Why not? There's still lots of pre-season left. 17 million. 17 million received. He's almost certainly going to take that. And that feels like good business. I mean, just as a reminder, we signed Dennis from Real Madrid. He was their backup goalkeeper last year. We signed him for £13 million. He's come in to replace Lucas Schumacher. And if the guy in green is going to be signed for us for, what was it, £4 million less than what we're selling Schumacher for, that's just a smart swap, isn't it? I mean, would you swap Schumacher for Dennis and 3 million? I definitely would. Anyway, he is going to have the choice to maybe go to Southampton for more money. That's not going to happen, is it? So just as a little reminder, we have got a few sales going on at the moment. Matthew Martin potentially leaving the building for up to, I think it's £14 million with various clauses. He's just not quite good enough for the first team, is he? And the only other player that we're currently selling is Addons, awaiting a work permit for his move to Hull City. Yes, a Turkish player going to Hull City. Football Manager's realistic. All of these sales combined potentially worth £30 million. I need to spend some money. I have been thinking about where I might want to spend it. And while star ratings aren't the be-all and end-all, I am looking at Dexter Sneddon's 3 stars thinking, could we do better? Dexter Sneddon, of course, he's been at the club for the last 2.5 years. Last year, he was in the Premier League Team of the Year. If we just quickly compare him with Huari, you'll see that Huari is just a better player. If I could find another Huari-like player, maybe someone even slightly better than Huari to come in, I think that might be a smart way to spend some of the money that we've got. Of course, we were originally looking at a defensive midfielder of some kind, but with the change in system, with Bolton moving into the midfield, that doesn't feel as urgent, and actually centre-back feels like a smart area to improve. I suppose the only potential downside with that is going to be that I have a sea of talent here, a sea of very, very good players, and I'm not sure I need them all. If Sneddon's going to drop down to the bench, there's probably an argument to say, I still need to get rid of Rodriguez. Of course, we nearly sold him last episode, and then he turned down bloody Leicester. And we'll offer him out again. I think with his value at 63 to 70 million, any bid north of 47 million, which is what I accepted from Leicester, I'd take. You might remember we got some bids last episode of less than 30 million. I suppose the risk is that if I do sign a Sneddon replacement and then don't get rid of Rodriguez or Sneddon, suddenly Bailey Salmon doesn't get the first team football he needs. And this guy, I really want to give some first team football to. He would probably become kind of our second choice backup, if that makes sense. So we'd have new centre-back in Huari, then Sneddon, Bailey Salmon, sell on Gonzalo Rodriguez. And of course, NDIA is also a backup centre-back. Yeah, I feel like if I'm going to go out and sign a world-class centre-back, I need to get rid of Rodriguez, don't I? I have also made the call just between episodes that I think I'm going to train David to play centre attack in mid. I don't know if this is a terrible idea or not, but as a shadow striker, he does tick a lot of the boxes here. I feel like his quickness is always what's let him down, so we've got an additional focus on that. But I feel like in terms of shadow strikers, the 21-year-old here has a load of potential. We're short on centre attacking mids. I kind of feel like he can maybe just do the job for us. I know he's not exactly the same kind of player as Ngoma, who he's coming in to replace, but I think he's serviceable. Maybe I'm going crazy. Saying all of that, I've just realised I've got him loan listed. I need to change that. He is not available for loan. I suppose the tricky thing for me here is I've got players like Gilliland, Sinkule and Anderson, all with 5-star potential. Alex as well, of course, probably the best of the bunch in terms of current ability. He's also one of the younger of the bunch here. But with all these players with kind of 5-star potential, I need to find routes for them in the first team. And with this setup, they could all make the bench, which would be quite nice. I've got a little bit distracted here. We've got our pre-season, you might remember, in Singapore. We're taking on a Malaysian team called Johor Darul Tazim. I have heard of them. They're the biggest team, I believe, in Malaysia. I think they might be owned by like the Malaysian royal family or something. There'll be some Southeast Asian viewers out there who can confirm. Yeah, we got them in a friendly, and we're also taking on another team who have a fantastic badge. This Johor's badge is cool. This badge as well. I know it's not an inspirational badge. It's got a bloody tiger on it, and it looks like they've just found a tiger off Google. I feel like I love it, and I feel like I shouldn't. I was distracted by their key player. They've got a Singaporean international. He's going to be injured for the pre-season friend. He's out for 3 to 6 months. He's also just not very good. Sorry, Rashidi. Yeah, one day we might sign a Singaporean regen. Not today. Also, this is my preliminary starting 11. I need to save this as my best 11, and then I need to deselect the players. That way, there will be a randomised lineup for the pre-season friendlies. If you don't kind of clear your squad and you're not managing the friendlies, your staff just use the team you've got selected, and that does mean that not everyone gets rotated. I'd like to go into the season with everyone match sharp, really. I've done all this talk, haven't I, about, oh, we're going to sign a world-class centre-back. It has just dawned on me. I've not even looked at the centre-backs that are available. Alan Silva, Pereira. This guy is not very good, is he? I thought Real Madrid Brazilian centre-back must be good. No. We have Dimitri Alexeyev here. He plays for Man City and is a centre-back. He's Ukrainian. He has got an incorrectly assigned ethnicity in-game. In case people didn't know, Football Manager players have kind of a unique ID that they use. With the regen face pack that I use, these IDs get assigned to the players. The issue comes where the game reuses faces. So at some point, this ID was used by another footballer who wasn't Ukrainian. He probably retired at a young age. This guy generated and was given the same number, but he inherited the face that was assigned previously. I mean, in my head, this is just what he looks like now. Albert van der Linden, fun name. He looks like he could be good. He's not really of that elite level. I do actually feel like Sneddon is a very, very good centre-back. I know he's kind of the weak link in our team right now, but I feel like that's almost a compliment to how good our team is. Here he is compared to Sneddon. I mean, Sneddon's just better, isn't he? I realise I'm looking for all these players. These are just the scouted players. There could be players I've not got scouted that are good. So if I just sort by value here, okay, there's a lot more players here that aren't scouted. What I will do just initially is get scout reports on them all, just to see if any of them are any good. But we will look through the most valuable ones. Not that value necessarily dictates how good a player is, but Renato Temega here, fantastic name, not such a mega centre-back option. He's very mid, isn't he? Lucio Nievas, I mean, fun name. He looks quite good. He can also play defensive midfielder. That is, you know, that could be useful for us. I feel like I have to compare every single player I look at here to Sneddon. Is he better than Dexter? I mean, he is, but it's not a massive difference, is it? I feel like Sneddon, I know he's only 3-star ability in the eyes of our staff. He's still a bloody good defender. I'm looking through these players. I've never felt so uninspired. Alamir here, Mexican international. Oh, we had a great Mexican player, didn't we, last year in Park to Prem? I feel like we're overdue a Mexican. Have we had a Mexican here at Rugby Town? I don't feel like we have. He's actually quite good. I suppose the issue here is he plays for Real Madrid. 26 years old and £145,000 a week. He's valued at 100 million. I feel like I can't afford him, and yet he is quite good. We'll get the scout report and see if he's decent. Lenny Yoro, real player. The rare real player this far into a set game. He's very, very good as well, isn't he? How does he compare to Sneddon? Okay, he is quite a lot better than Sneddon. The issue is, do you really want to spend £91 million on a 29-year-old who turns 30 this year? It's a lot of money, innit? I'm looking through the options here. I'm very uninspired. In fact, I've got so low down that Akera Fawns is showing up as an option. Fawns, by the way, like Ngoma, on £575,000 a week. He is secure in the bag. I am just wondering, if I untick realistic players, is there just like a sea of players that are way, way better that I can't get? Doesn't look like there is. Is this really the best centre-backs age 25 and younger? What about if I untick the 25-year-old options? Then there are more players. Are these all the good centre-backs that I can't afford? Sergio's is good, isn't he? And I know that this guy Milano's good because I've looked at him before. He's very good, isn't he? He definitely doesn't want to join me. Milano, do you want to join me? No. Ali Gyasi here, 22 years old, plays at Augsburg. I don't think he showed up as a realistic player, but apparently he might actually want to join me. Is he good? He's 22 years old and Ghanaian. He looks very good. He's a bit kind of limited. He's not a ball player, but when he has the kind of defending duties required of him, he'll be able to do it. I say that. He looks really impressive. And then you compare him against Sneddon, and it's really not a what. Sneddon's bloody good. I've never really appreciated Sneddon before. I've noticed there's some older centre-back options who are quite good. I just don't feel like I want to spend £80 million on a 32-year-old. You know, when I announced the whole centre-back thing, I was kind of hoping there'd be like an actually super standout centre-back to bring in. Someone who I look at and go, you're the one. I probably should have checked before I announce my intentions, because I am thoroughly underwhelmed. I feel like we're at that awkward point actually at the moment with Rugby Town where we have a really high quality team, but a lot of these players have the quality they have because they've developed at the club, and our reputation means we can't quite attract the world beaters yet. That does make kind of making meaningful upgrades to the first team a little bit tricky at times. Of all the options I've looked at, Gyasi I think probably is the best of the bunch, but the price is very, very high. I need to get a scout report on him. I do like him a lot, but the price is just absurd, isn't it? Maybe I found an option. Dylan Fraser, 26 years old, Arsenal player. Do we steal a player from Arsenal? Professional personality, played 27 games for them last year. They signed him for £12 million. Safe to say he's not been very good at Arsenal. But then again, we signed Sneddon, didn't we, from Arsenal, and he hadn't played a lot before we picked him up. He is a very, very good player. 26 years old, entering his prime this year. I mean, how much is he going to want? Is he going to want to join us? The answer to both is yes. I think I like the look of this guy. I feel like I need the scout report to make a full kind of decision. Also, we looked at him a second ago and it said he was worth 60 million. I've now asked his agent and they want 135. That feels like way less of a good deal, doesn't it, all of a sudden? If I offer like 75 million, are they going to tell me to do one? They've asked for 223 million. I'll tell you, he looked great, didn't he? And then I asked the agent for more info and found out the asking price was out of date. I'm so upset. He actually looked really good. I suppose if I don't replace Sneddon in the first team, I could still look to move on Rodriguez, and maybe with his departure, Swainston just comes into the team to be kind of the fifth choice centre-back. We can make him available for the under-21s and try and give him some game time. He is listed, isn't he, as our hot prospect. Is that the worst idea in the world? I almost feel like it's not. But then again, if I'm not signing a centre-back, what am I signing with all this money? Maybe I am just at the point in this save game where I just need to go out, find the best player possible and sign them. You know, maybe that's the play. You know, it doesn't matter what position they play, if they're a massive upgrade or not. You just sign the big guns. And the biggest of the big guns is Alexi, who we wanted to sign last episode, and then he wanted a ridiculous amount of money. I still feel like this guy might just run down his contract at Rennes. And for that reason, and given the fact he's in the last year of his deal, I don't want to pay 130 million for him. Never mind the £300,000 a week he was asking for, you might remember last episode. Is it bad that I forgot we were signing this guy? Carlos Ossé, the Ghanaian centre defensive mid / right back / left mid. I think for us, he's more likely to play as a defensive midfielder. Maybe a wing back down the line, but his physicals aren't just there. 18 years old, capped for Ghana. £13 million. Probably don't need him. Just going to sign him anyway. Really, really good young player with some potential. A little bit concerned about his injury proneness, but I feel like we are in a situation now where we can afford kind of a £13 million punt. Apparently he could improve a lot. I mean, that bodes well. Hopefully he does have as much potential as it looks like he might have. I think I am going to train him as a defensive midfielder. I feel like this could be the role that he suits best for us. I feel like actually training as a player as a defensive midfielder isn't actually necessarily the best thing in the world. I'm going to train him here as a segundo volante just to try and make him as complete as possible. Might also help if we down the line decide we want to try him as a wing back if his physicals are a little bit better. So yeah, it's Segundo Volante. He'll probably never play there, but I like the look of this guy. I'm being asked if I want to follow up on my interest in Dylan Fraser. Dylan Fraser would have been the player I probably want to sign. My scouts like the look of him. Isn't great when it comes to important matches, but he is just a very, very good centre-back, isn't he? The sad reality is, I don't think he's worth spending £135 million on. But when I look at our team, I don't look at Sneddon and think, you're the reason that we lose games. I mean, actually, no, that's a lie. There was one game last year that was his fault. But besides that, I feel like every player's like that in Football Manager. You always like to blame the players rather than yourself, don't you? When things go wrong in FM. Okay, Ayrton is leaving the building. £3.5 million for him, I think, is actually quite good. We signed him as a little bit of a punt just because we had some money to spend. Signed for £1 million. Sold on for 3 times more than that. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting from this guy. I guess I was expecting some money, so we've succeeded. Schumacher's just got injured. It's only a 1 to 2 day injury. I was panicking for a second there, thinking that an injury would ruin his hopes of getting a transfer away from the club. Neither club's pulled out. I'm still hoping he will go to Real Madrid. I mean, Southampton would be better. I don't think he's going to go to Southampton over Real Madrid. I know which I'd pick. I feel like Football Manager's really trying to wind me up. I was just looking through players that my scouts are suggesting. Ollie Moros has popped up. I'd love to sign Ori Moros, just not for £300,000 a week. Still not over that from yesterday. I really should be at this point. I am still getting recommended Ibrahima Diop. Is it bad that I'm kind of tempted to sign this guy? He's in the last year of his contract, and I think as a result of that, his valuation has dropped down. Yeah, 79 to 97 million. He's not cheap. He is an absolutely insane striker, though, isn't he? I suppose the issue becomes if I was to sign him to play striker, which isn't really a position I was looking to sign, it would probably mean dropping either Sanfe or Rojas. I mean, if you were going to drop one of them, who would you drop? I mean, my heart says you keep Faye in the team, but then when you compare the players, Rojas is just better. I guess Sanfe could play a striker. Oh, sorry, centre attacking mid. What if, I might be cooking too much here, what if you moved Bolton back, moved Misiak into the roaming playmaker role, played Faye at centre attacking mid, and then played Diop next to Rojas? That doesn't feel like an awful idea. I mean, given the money that we have to spend, this guy offers just really good value for money. Has some good marketability as well. He is one of the best advanced forwards in the game, isn't he? Like, he is absolutely mad. You can see it generated at Valencia, has played for them forever. Oh, you know what? I think I'm about to do this. I've just inquired. I didn't mean to inquire. I was meant to make a bid. Should I go for 75 and see what they say? He's in the last year of his contract, so I'm hoping I can get him for a semi-discounted price. I feel like he's going to cost in the region of 90 million if I want to buy him, but I'm going to try and negotiate hard. Thing is, I can definitely afford it. Do I need to sign him? No, not really, but there's just not better options out there. I really want to negotiate this for less than 100 million. 97 million for Diop. I feel like I've gone from not having a plan to having a plan really quickly. I mean, he's 27, but with his good natural fitness, you'll easily get like 5 years out of him, won't you? If I compare him with Roger Rojas, how does he compare? Rojas is currently our best striker. Oh, he's really good, isn't he? He is. I feel like I've undersold him here. Celik. How is Celik in comparison? I mean, Celik is better, but slightly different kind of player. I think Diop's the option. I can't believe I'm doing this. He wants between £200,000 and £240,000 a week. We can definitely afford that. I'm not going to promise him we can challenge for the title, but I can promise him he'll play as an advanced forward because that is literally what we play. He wants a sell-on percentage. I'm not going to give him that. I would love to sign him on a 5-year deal. I'll give his agent and himself a little more money if they sign it. He wants 210. I want a 5-year deal. 5-year deal on 210. He really wants to only sign for 4 years. I feel like if I'm spending this much money, I need the security of knowing that he's not going to go anywhere and we're basically signing him till the age of 32. How does that sound? Okay, it's a good contract, I think. I was expecting him to ask for a lot more outrageous amount. I feel like 97 million for him is a lot, but he's probably worth it. It's weird, right? I feel like in Football Manager, and indeed in real world football in the last few years, fees for players have inflated massively. Like £97 million for this guy, say 3 Football Managers ago, that would be mental. But actually, in the context of Football Manager, the world of football now, and where our club's at, we can just afford this. So I think it's the option. People might be wondering, Jack, how come you're happy to go for Diop, but Alexi, whose contract's also up at the end of the year, you don't want to go for? A couple of things, really. Firstly, Ren, unlike Valencia, I don't think can afford to pay Alexi what he wants. So with that in mind, he's more likely to run down his contract. On top of that, Alexi was 150 million. Diop is 50% cheaper, and if we actually just compare the two players, can I even compare them? I can. I feel like when you look at them head-to-head here, Diop's probably better. Probably. I mean, there's actually not a world of difference, but Diop fits the system better. I suppose the only downside with this shift would be Faye plays back at centre attacking mid, which we know isn't a role that he's necessarily shone in when we've played him there, but I just feel like when a player like Diop's available, you have to go for him. And worst case, if Faye doesn't perform as the attacking midfielder, we can just do the change that we were going to do before. And whilst it might feel a bit criminal, perhaps, to have Faye on the bench, what it would mean for the team is that we have a really, really good, reliable option on off the bench in Faye, who we know can get goals. If I do sign him, Diop, I will probably move on David Sinkule. There's part of me wondering, given the fact he's turning 22 in a couple of months' time, is it worth just trying to sell him for 70 million? Like, how likely is he to actually fulfill his potential? I mean, if I could get like 70 million for him, that would cover so much of the Diop deal, wouldn't it? Maybe I should do that. I'm offering him out. We'll see if we get any interest. Welcome to Work the Space, where we say we're going to sign a world-class centre-back and then spend £100 million on a striker. That'll never change. Don't try and make me change. Okay, another sale going through here. Matthew Martin leaving for £15 million, potentially. It's a guaranteed £11 million. There is also a sell-on fee here. Martin was a player that we signed a few years ago. I saw he was a model citizen and he looked like he had good potential, at least according to our staff. He's not really shown any sign to development. I feel like he's one of those early bloomers that's kind of hit his peak early. And whilst he has got model citizen personality, staff don't really rate him. We're making a bit of profit. I don't need him in the team anyway, so kind of just a sensible sale, I think. Of course, there is always a risk that you may be selling a player a little bit too early, but equally, sometimes it's better to sell a player whilst there's still a chance they could develop just because their value's a little bit higher. You know, that's the kind of a similar logic that I'm going through with Sinkule here, who has an offer from Rangers. He doesn't want to speak to Rangers, but this is the kind of guy who has potential. There's a chance he fulfills it, but I feel like it's more likely he doesn't. And if in 2 years we keep hold of him, his value is just going to drop as, you know, the game starts to recognise, hey, he's probably not as good as he could have been. Can I convince him to go to Rangers? They've put in a really strong bid. The offer isn't good enough to be a no-brainer as far as he's concerned. I can't guarantee that you'll be registered in my squad if you decide to stay. This is out of order. I won't be forced out. If I make you unhappy enough, do you reckon he'll just leave? Also, I've not even negotiated with Rangers, I realise here. They offered 33 million. I'm going to ask for 58. They've offered 36. That's not as much as I was hoping they might offer. How about 50 million Rangers? They've offered 38. I feel like we can get like 50 million for him here. That's my ambitious hope. They've offered 40 million and then potentially another 5 million after 20 international games. He will almost certainly get those for the Czech Republic. I mean, he doesn't want to go to Rangers, but I just feel like for 40 million, I probably should sell him. I mean, we signed him for 9 million. He had a good year last year in the Championship, but yeah, I don't see him getting near the first team. Also, have you ever seen so much advice for a player here? I really should click on this more often, shouldn't I? Didn't even realise this. His contract is up in 2 years too, so I probably need to sell him, don't I? Maybe if I just make him really unhappy, he'll want to leave. I'm going to criticise his training and development. He's training at an 8.7. I'm just going to criticise him still. You need to rethink things. I'm making him cry, move him to the under-21s, do everything I can to upset him. I'm not even going to talk to him about the fact I've moved him in the under-21s. David, piss off up to Scotland. This would all be very awkward now, wouldn't it? If I do all of this, then Diop just turns me down. In which case, I've just pissed off one of the better potential young players for the future, for absolutely no reason. 2 weeks till the season starts. It has dawned on me. I've still not had any interest in Gonzalo Rodriguez, have I? We've not had any bids. Paris FC are interested. They are owned by a tycoon. Paris FC, come on down, make a bid. If I'm not mistaken, when we looked at Paris FC before, they had this tycoon owner, but they'd kind of been underperforming. Yeah, you can see it. They've got this tycoon owner. They've invested a lot of money into the infrastructure. Last year, they finished 9th. Their media prediction this year is 6th, though, so maybe they're on the up. Apparently a Haddad transfer saga is set to develop. £71 million for Haddad. I'll tell you what, if they bid 71 million, I will absolutely sell him knowing that we've got Dennis kind of up our sleeve. It also gives me a chance to bring in another goalkeeper. I did promise when I signed Dennis that when we sold Haddad, he'd be first choice. maybe I'd be willing to give Dennis a chance. And by the way, speaking of goalkeepers, Lucas Schumacher, £17 million from Real Madrid. Thank you very much. Remember a few years ago where we were only getting £1 million bids for Schumacher, kind of persevering with him, keeping him around even if he was crying. It turned out to be the right decision. I've got all these scout reports on different centre-backs. Like Alamir, to be honest, of all the ones I've looked at, is the most tempting, but he's just so much money. Then again, super consistent, loves important matches. I do like the look of him. I think of all the options I've looked at, he is the best. The issue is he costs £100 million, which of course I am already spending on a striker. But let's not question that. What if I make a bid for Alamir, but I include a player exchange? I'd never use exchanges, but this could be a chance. I will give you Gonzalo Rodriguez, who... How much is Rodriguez worth? 63. That's a lot of million. It's 40 million plus Gonzalo Rodriguez for Alamir. Deal or no deal? They're definitely going to say no deal, aren't they? 145. Yeah, okay. We will walk away. I want Alamir. I don't want him that much. Just as I was beginning to think maybe we wouldn't get any bids for Gonzalo Rodriguez, two have come in. Man City... Leipzig. This is a frustrating one because Man City are offering the 47 million that I said I wanted, but I don't really want to sell him to a divisional rival in Man City because I think he could still be good. Do I push my luck a little bit and just ask for like 55 million and see what they say? I feel like this is probably a bad idea, but we can try. Yeah, okay. Man City didn't like it. Okay, that makes me wonder, should I just accept this bid from Leipzig? They're offering a bigger percentage of profit of next sale. You know, I might live to regret this. I'm going to ask Leipzig for 50 million. They've locked in 44.5 million, but a 40% profit sell-on. And he is interested in talking to Leipzig. I've just got to accept that, haven't I? 44 million for Rodriguez, I think, is really good money. We signed him for 13 million. He did not inspire last year when he came in. We've got a really good young centre-back in Bailey Salmon that I need to find a way to get this guy game time. Moving on Rodriguez enables that. And actually, when you compare him with Rodriguez, I don't think there's a world of difference. I know Rodriguez has the edge in terms of physicals and mentals, but given Salmon is 5 years younger with 5-star potential, I have to find a route for him into the first team. And there's the percentage of sell-on. Yeah, you know what? I'm just talking myself into this, aren't I? I'm kind of tempted just to offer out Haddad. I don't know if he's going to be unhappy about that. He's got 2 years left in his current deal. PSG are interested. Should we just see if we can get any nibbles from the French team? You know, they're known for overspending. They're known for, well, just spaffing money up all. Spaff some money on us. That's an awful phrasing, isn't it? Let's move on from that. Diop has got a work permit. I must have missed the inbox item where it said we were awaiting a work permit. It's been granted. £99 million for this guy. It's not cheap. He is bloody brilliant, though. Plus, with the marketability he's got, he will still earn us back £20 million over the course of his contract. I'm doing it. We signed Celik before, now we've got Diop. We have got some blockbuster mega striking options. Diop is sensational. And also, he's part Senegalese, of course, NDIA from Senegal. We've had many Senegalese players play at the club over the years. We're just adding to that illustrious list. There is part of me that feels like now I do need to get rid of Karim Konate for any price possible. I feel like with Diop signed and Faye dropping to the bench, Konate's not really needed anymore, is he? I suppose the question now is, what is the better option? Keeping Misiak and Celik at centre attack in mid, or dropping Celik back, Bolton to right back, and playing Sam Faye at centre attack in mid? I feel guilty having Sanfé on the bench, but I feel like it's just the thing that makes sense. Apparently Diop is set to increase our shirt sales sharply. Is he going to be the top selling shirt? Apparently Misiak is the top seller at the moment. Only 1,300 shirts sold. Our fans really need to start buying more shirts, don't they? I am fuming at the number of shirts we sell here. This is ridiculous. Do we just not have fans? I mean, apparently we have 17 million social media followers, and yet our most sold shirt sales 1,000. Tell you what, there's too many fair-weathered fans who don't put their hands in their pockets. The freeloaders, the glory supporters, I hate them. Sorry, I've just been hitting continue here through pre-season. Goal FC playing in a friendly. Who names their football team Goal FC? A French team called I'm very offended by this, and I know I shouldn't be, but Goal FC just shouldn't be allowed, should it? Didn't really dawn on me. Diop is now our record transfer, surpassing Celik by £2 million. Yeah, that's a lot of money, isn't it? 97. Have I overpaid? I don't think I've overpaid. I feel like I'm over-questioning things here. He is world-class, isn't he? Valencia have made a bid for Haddad. They've only offered 34 million and he isn't interested in talking to them. I was really hoping that PSG would make a bid. I mean, I've just given Valencia 97 million or 99 million pounds. They're bidding 34 for a man worth 71. I am offended. Man City make Almeida bid offer. Whenever I see Man City make a bid, I feel like I have to check the player and decide if I want them. I mean, he's a centre-back, allegedly elite. He's not an elite centre-back, is he? How much are they paying? 60 million. Yeah, you know what? They can pay that for him. That is mental. PSG, eat your heart out. Man City are now the team spending money for the sake of it. Still waiting to find out if David is going to be leaving us and also Rodriguez. If they both leave us, that frees up 80 million to do something with in terms of transfer budget. I have noticed we have creeped over the new wage budget, which already is a massive increase on last year. I think the good news is, unlike last year, I am actually going to be allowed to jig the budgets around if necessary. David Sinkoulé doesn't seem himself at the moment. He's down and concerned I might be leaving him out the Premier League squad. I already told him I was leaving him out the Premier League squad. Yeah, you're on your way out, mate. You're not good enough. You don't deserve a place in the squad. Look, just piss off up to Rangers, please. I feel like I couldn't have done more to convince him that Rangers is a good move for him. There are some other clubs interested, but I feel like none of them are going to offer as much as I'm hoping for. Although, Valencia think he'd fit in the starting 11. Valencia, I know you've got Wonga. You should make a bid. Imagine if I signed Diop from Valencia and then they bid on Sinkoulé as a replacement. That'd be good. Also, we've got offers here. I'm trying to give away Selamanaj. Remember this guy? Yeah, the Macedonian who was on an amateur contract. We signed him when we were in the Championship. His contract's up at the end of the current year. No one wants him on a free transfer. And those that do want him want me to pay his wages. Then again, we would be saving some money. I'm just going to let him go. Have had some loan offers here for Diego. Diego's a good little player. Has a bit of potential. He has a really high value. So I was at one point considering selling him. There's no interest in kind of signing him permanently. But a couple of loan offers here from Stoke and Ipswich Town. I think we'll accept both these. I think a loan spell in the Championship is what could be needed for him. Elsewhere, by the way, Swansea made a loan offer for Swainston. Kind of want to give just Swainston first team football with us. Would that be a stupid idea to make him the 5th choice centre-back? I know he's lacking a little bit in current ability, but I feel like he's better off training with us where I can control his training just because his physicals are lacking a little bit. I think for us, he is going to long-term be a centre-back. That's certainly the dream. Is he good enough to be the 5th choice centre-back? He probably shouldn't be, but I need to get him to that potential. I don't think a loan move's the way to do that. I feel like in general, to be honest, loan moves are good if a player's kind of already at a point where you're happy with where they're at and you just want them to get better at everything. But with someone like Swainston who has glaring gaps in his game, I kind of need to control his training still. I am being asked about squad numbers. I know there are certain people very upset about certain numbers, shall we say. Misiak, I know, is a particularly unpopular one, number 62. Should I actually go out and number the players properly? You know what? I feel like doing it today. I don't know why. I'm in a numbery mood. I can't believe I'm actually doing this either. I feel dirty doing this. I hope there are people out there that genuinely care that I'm doing all the numbering properly. I'm putting my heart and soul into this. And for the people that don't care, thinking, Jack, why are you doing this? I don't know either. I know there's just certain people very anal about squad numbers being correct. I also know that despite me doing these numbers correctly, there's going to be some people upset that I've given the defensive midfielder, not the centre-back, the number 4, and some people upset that the centre-backs are numbers 5 and 6. Squad numbers depend on where you are in the world. I literally can't please everyone. Also, Misiak still number 62. That's his squad number. He likes that number. He's told me so. I did just realise I've numbered the team as if Sam Fay is still in the starting 11, haven't I there? That's awkward. Well, Bolton at centre mid is going to be number 2. Yeah, get over it. I want it known there are certain players that kept their squad numbers. You can see a Rojas, Celik, they kept their numbers. NDIA still got the number 12. He loves it. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Premier League top goal scorer odds. Roger Rojas is there. Celik is there. Diop isn't. I don't know if that's a testament to the existing talent at the club or an indicator that I've overpaid. But you know what? Celik is there at number 1, so nothing else matters. I've been told by the squad they're not happy about the treatment of David Sinkoulé. You mean the bloke who I'm trying to sell? You mean the bloke who I'm literally trying to get rid of? We think that I should let him leave the club? I'm letting him leave. Why are we doing this? If selling David's what it's going to take to keep harmony in the squad, I'll do it. There we go. Everyone's happy, except David, but that's fine. And now David has formally requested a transfer listing. I wanted to get rid of him anyway. This is fine. This is going to plan. Rodriguez set for move to Leipzig. £44.5 million for Rodriguez. I think is some pretty good money for a player who's kind of our 4th/5th choice centre-back. He could end up having some really good potential, but the injury really did scupper his development. And yeah, £44 million for a squad player. Kind of be silly not to take it. Valencia have made a bid for David. How much did I accept from Rangers? I accepted 40 million from Rangers. Valencia have offered 47. Apparently he has no interest in joining Valencia. Just like he had no interest in joining Rangers. I can still try and convince him that Rangers are the move for him. Apparently he wants to go to Tottenham. I don't get it. I have no interest in choosing Rangers over Tottenham. Look, mate, just bloody do it. Bloody, please leave the club. I mean, we can also tell him that he should go to Valencia too. Look, Valencia, better team. I insist. Please leave the club. I'm just really making him upset. Now, the offer I've got from Rangers is 45 million with a sell-on clause. This 47 doesn't have a sell-on clause. I know that Valencia have a lot of money because I've just sold them, signed Diop from them. So I'm going to ask for 60 million. If they tell me to do one and that they don't want to negotiate at all, we'll just take the Rangers offer. It's not the end of the world, but if they're going to bid 60 million, they can have him. Please go to Valencia. Please. I feel like I should have asked for more money now. So Rodriguez has officially left the club. What does that leave us with bank balance-wise? 98 million. We are over the wage budget, but I can do a bit of jigging of money. There's jigs some money, and now we're in our budget. Now I'm calm. I am just wondering, with the departures of Rodriguez and also Riviere last episode, that defensive midfielder position, if the Bolton kind of idea doesn't work out, could be a problem. That's probably where I should be spending what's left of our funds. I mean, maybe the most sensible deal is to try and sign Alamir from Real Madrid, because he can play defensive midfielder in the case of an emergency. He's got some marketability and some really high reputation too. I mean, how would he be as a defensive midfielder if you needed him to do it? Be pretty good. The only concern really is the wages. He would come in to be our starting centre-back, I think, and obviously Sneddon would then move down, which is already something we've considered doing. So that's A-okay. The price is just so high though, isn't it? I say that and then I offer the 103 million and they just accept it instantly. That's bloody annoying. Alamir's good. I don't know if I think he's £100 million good. But then again, we're at a point in the team where it is kind of just really small gains. So maybe it's just worth spending that kind of money on one player. When you compare him next to Sneddon, he is just a better centre-back, I think. Within our system especially, I think he's just got the edge. I say that. There really is no world of difference, but he can also play defensive mid. And I do kind of want another centre-back option anyway. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm at that point in a Football Manager save game where you kind of have to take the sensible hat off a little bit and just accept that sometimes you've got to overpay for some players. You can see here he's very interested in negotiating terms. Oh, how much are you going to hurt me here, Alamir? How much do you want wage-wise? It's actually not that bad. It's actually quite reasonable. He's a super consistent performer, loves big matches. How's he done for Real Madrid in recent years? Okay, he's been a really mainstay part of their team, consistently doing really, really well. Looks like he might have been a little bit of a late bloomer. PSG signed him and then really didn't use him that much, which is kind of surprising. I mean, he's been very good for Real, hasn't he? He wants 195,000. I'm going to try and get him for 170. He did not like that. How about 180? Really wants 195. 185, please do it. Okay, I'll give him the 195. I can't be bothered to lose a deal over £10,000. Feel like I should point out at this point, if that deal is to go through with Alamir, I need to sell David. David has to move on. Part of me wants to cancel the deal with Rangers just to see if we can get the 60 million from Valencia, but I'm terrified that he might have wanted to join Rangers more, and so by cancelling the deal, it makes him unhappy. But then again, it is a £20 million difference, but then I don't need the 20 million, I just need enough for Alamir. You know what, we'll let him have a choice. I am just having another look through the centre-back options that can also play defensive mid to see if there's any players I've missed, because there are a lot of players here that I've got scouted. I've already looked at a lot of these, even some of them that I've not looked at during this episode whilst talking, like Bailey James Waldrum here, 27 years old, amazing English player, injury-prone, hates important matches. It's just not worth. I'd rather pay twice as much for Alamir. Is that a controversial take? I just feel like Alamir is clear in terms of better defensively, better in the air, and just all the hidden attributes are just way, way better. So, I mean, Super Green consistency, loves big matches, is just massive. The only player who I may be slightly more tempted by would be Lucio Nievas here for Chelsea. He joined Chelsea a few years ago for 8.75 million. He's a very, very good player, and of course, weakening a rival isn't necessarily a bad idea, but his value is just that little bit more, and I think that's going to make him almost unaffordable for us. Alamir does have the better mentals too. And also, a lot of these technicals aren't the technicals you need for a centre-back. I don't need better finishing or better crossing. You know, somewhat redundant. It's one of those things where when you look at him as a player and compare the two and actually look at what's important for a centre-back, I think Alamir is actually just slightly better anyway. Top young player odds from Football Radar. Look at this. 2 players in there for us. Misiak and Mark Anderson. You love to see it. I'm just curious by the other players here. Suslik, I remember looking at this guy before as an option. They signed him for 78 million. 78 million for this guy. I mean, he's good. But suddenly I do feel a whole lot better about the money we are spending today. Has just dawned on me. The Community Shield is in like a matter of days. How have I got through pre-season so quickly without realising? The more I look at Alamir, the more I like him. I don't know if I'm just talking myself into it. I just think he's a very, very good player. Love to see this. Haddad injured with a gashed arm. Injured catching the ball. How do you gash your arm catching a ball? Like, that ball must have razor blades in it or something. Probably means, amazingly, Dennis will make his debut in the Community Shield tomorrow. I bet he's buzzing. David Sinkule. David bloody Sinkule. I hate him. I actually hate him. I hate him. He rejected offers from Valencia and Rangers. That means I can't sign Alamir. David, you are a knob. I'll offer him out again. Just leave. I don't want you here. You're not wanted. Leave, please. Alamir is going to cost me 103 million. Is there 10 million in clauses that I can sell here? Okay, I can get 3 million from selling a Wesley Gomez clause. Pietro, I can get 4.8 million from. That doesn't get me enough money, does it? Are there any other clauses we can sell? Is there any levers we can pull? Can we do a Barcelona? Oh, this is annoying, isn't it? I mean, I am getting rid of some players, but these are all loan options or players leaving for pretty cheap. The Community Shield's in 2 days. David's actually messed me up here, hasn't he? Flamengo made an offer for João Victor. That is not a good offer, is it? Reject. I feel like João Victor's that footballer that every team has that you kind of just forgets on their team. You know, he's that player who's useful. We'll use him from time to time. But people who don't follow our football club, people who aren't Rugby Town fans, they're going to forget he exists. This guy, I love him. He's not amazing, but I don't need to sell him. Especially if I can't get Alamir, I need him as a defensive midfielder option. We play Arsenal tomorrow. We play Arsenal, and I no idea if we've got the money or not for the Alamir deal. This is going to be fun, isn't it? I thought we were going to be getting rid of Hall of Famer Dekanovic because this guy's just an old backup goalkeeper who doesn't want to leave. His contract's up at the end of the year. He's just turned down Swansea. I realise at this point with the Arsenal game tomorrow, Alamir, even if he accepts the contract, he's not going to get a work permit in time, is he? So we're definitely not going to know what happens with him today. I suppose what that does mean is if you think this is a terrible transfer, you can plead with me to cancel it down in the comments. You've got that chance now because I can't confirm this today. Oh my God, it's the day of the Community Shield. I'm so upset with David Sinkule. I didn't think I could hate him anymore. And here we are. Valencia have offered the 60 million they offered before. He isn't interested. Please just go to Valencia. Please. Please, it'll be a fantastic challenge. You'll take their offer more serious. I bet he still rejects them. I mean, fantastic news. I bet he still rejects them. They've offered 60 million. Should we just ask for 70? Should we be cheeky? Okay, please piss off now, David. Please. Please. And also, Alamir's move delayed due to work permit. We'll find out next episode if we can sign him or not. Sinkule for 70 million is mad. Obviously, they have that 70 million because of the Diop deal. So the way of thinking of this is, with Diop and Sinkule, would Diop... I can't believe this. I'm selling Sinkule for 70 million. I bought Diop for 97 million, I think it was the fee. So would you swap Sinkule and 27 million for Diop? Yeah, you would. Okay, please go. I'm pleading with him now. I need him to leave. Sadly, for today, we have to end things here. I'm very annoyed that the Community Shield's when it is, because I feel like we've not really resolved a whole lot today. What we have done is spent a whole lot of money on Diop and potentially another £100 million on Alamir. £103 million for this guy is a massive overpay. I just don't think there's better options out there. And he is actually quite good. I think. I mean, tell me if I'm making a mistake. I'll probably ignore you anyway, but just, then you can say you told me so when this doesn't work out. I mean, obviously, we didn't think this year was going to be a revolution to the first team, but I feel like there's an evolution there. Diop's come into the team alongside Celik. I think we've now got 2 super world-class players. We've got players like Mateus as well who are going to be on the bench this year. Of course, we're training him to play as a striker. He will have to learn that over the course of the year. Besides that, obviously, Bailey Salmon has come back from his loan. He is going to be on the bench and featuring a lot. I suppose there's a little bit of a concern that if we sign Alamir, Sneddon moves to the bench, maybe Bailey Salmon doesn't even make the bench, but there will definitely be time to give this guy football. We will throw him in for European games and cup games. That is a certainty. And of course, we did also sign a few more exciting options like Dimitrov last episode. This guy I think could be really, really good. A little bit concerned, I promised that he'll be a squad player. Similar story as well with Osse. Good player for the future, really nice potential. Bit of long-term planning going on here. And yeah, I mean, the team isn't too huge either, which is a nice plus. 26 players, that's manageable. I feel like today's episode's been a bit of a weird one. We've not signed a centre-back yet. I mean, we might be about to sign the world-class centre-back, but that's only after I've spent £97 million on a striker. But the good news is there's still 150 million in the bank, so we can definitely do it. Everything's fine, I'm calm. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's episode. If you have, let me know with a like on the video, and I'd also love to know down in the comments what you think of the dealings we've done this year and how the team is shaping up. Of course, media prediction this year is 4th. I really want to push for the Premier League title, and I do feel like with some of the players we've brought in, we are going to be able to do that. A little bit annoyed that Diop shows up as a key player, but Erling Haaland still gets in over him in the Media Dream 11. Justice for Diop, and also equally annoyed, Balbuena is in the team of the year goalkeeper spot. I could have signed him. Despite everything we've done today, though, I feel like there's still room for some more transfer dealings. If you want to see what we get up to, do we sign Alamir? I suppose you'll have to come back for the start of Season 13 tomorrow. Like I mentioned earlier, on the community tab on the channel, there is a poll, hopefully live as you watch this, with different stadium names to vote for. What will the Rugby Town Stadium be called? You have a chance to vote for it. Go make your vote count or something. When people say that phrase, they're definitely talking about polls on YouTube as opposed to elections. Definitely. Has just dawned on me, I've been saying tomorrow for everything. Tomorrow's Saturday for you. There's no video tomorrow. We start the season on Monday. I've forgotten what day of the week it is today. That's when you know I've played too much Football Manager in a row. Anyway, I'm just waffling away here. We're going to put the biscuit in the barrel, end things for now. Thank you for watching. Take things easy. It's me, Jack. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.